Good morning, stroke afternoon on its way. It's 45 minutes till kickoff, and this is Lineups Live. Game 46 in the Championship. We made it. AFC Bournemouth versus Stoke. I have Steve with me, and we're going to go through the lineups that have just been released. How you doing, Steve?
I'm all right, mate. Good morning to you. Strange to be doing it in the morning, isn't it?
I know, I'm all excited for this. You think in a few hours' time we'll be ready, prepared for the playoffs, and we're going to know who we're taking on. So we'll get into the lineups in just a bit, but thank you for everyone who's currently joining us live over our streaming platforms. Please make sure if you head over to YouTube, you subscribe. We gained another 4 subscribers yesterday on our match preview stroke season review. So thank you for that. And also make sure you hit the like button as well. The notification bell will also let you know when new videos and content is out, and that will let you know when the match review's out after the game. Okay, Steve. Now, something we didn't talk about last night was Danjuma picking up Player of the Month in the Championship and Asmir Begovic.
Yeah,
sorry, Jonathan Woodgate. Jonathan Woodgate picked up Manager of the Month.
You threw me a bit then. I was like, did he?
No, Jonathan Woodgate got Manager of the Month. Danjuma got Player of the Month. It got confused because we gave Asmir Begovic Player of the Season. That's
exactly. Yeah. I mean, those 2 awards. To be fair, I was thinking it before he got it. There's no one else that could have picked up the Manager of the Month award, and let's hope it's not the dreaded curse of that award as well, because that has been a thing in the past. But yeah, it's well deserved. You couldn't have really given it to anyone else. We went on that long winning run. I mean, we didn't lose a game in April, did we? So easy one for me. And then part of that winning run and the success of that winning run was the form of Danjuma, which, you know, he was in there for goal of the season, that goal against Norwich. I mean, other contributions in those games. I mean, he was just on fire, wasn't he? So well done to the both of them. Well deserved.
And we haven't scored in the last 2 games, and Danjuma didn't play last week. And a quick mention, we're looking to win a trophy in a few weeks' time, but the Academy younger players won a trophy, a second trophy, and Mark Travers showing his inner Steve Fletcher.
Yeah. I think he needs to get. I mean, I heard a funny thing. So, well, maybe Asmir Begovic was Player of the Season, but was he Keeper of the Season after that performance by Travers? It's like, what a time to come up with a goal. Yeah, I mean, maybe you should sit Asmir down and say, look, you need to add this to your game, Asmir, and then you'll be top quality. But no better time to do it, was there? Last minute of a cup final. What a great story.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to get stuck into the lineups in just a bit, but I want to know the first goal in today's game. Where is it coming from? Is it going to be a right foot, a left foot, a header, a volley from a corner, off the backside? Let us know what you think where that first goal is coming from. We're going to get stuck into the opposition like we always do. Stoke City haven't won for a few games. I think they're winless in 6. They've got 2 draws in that time. But Stoke City's team today is Davis, Smith, Forrester, Bath, Norrington, Davis, Mikel, Thompson, Clucas, Matondo, Timon, and Brown. Now, looking at that lineup, Steve, I mean, Mikel, we know about. He's played obviously for Chelsea in his career and the Premier League, captain today, and Sam Clucas. But what are they playing for, Steve?
Well, yeah, good question. Not a lot, really, are they? They've got such a poor recent record that, you know, I think John said yesterday, since Christmas, they would, if you looked at their form since Christmas, they'd be in the bottom 3. It could quite easily turn into a training, almost like a training game, this one. Like you say, there's players in there that have got some Premier League experience, Clucas, Mikel, but it was a few years back now, and I don't really see anything in that team to worry about at all, really. I think Matondo can be a good player, and Timon's decent enough, but really we should have far too much, especially with the side Jonathan's gone with today.
Yeah, and they've only scored 4 goals in that last 6 games, but they are looking for like a 21 clean sheet this season, so they might be tough to break down if we're not on it.
Possibly, but looking at the side Jonathan's gone with today, that's as good as it gets for us, isn't it, going forward? So I should like to think at home we've got too much for that Stoke side.
So interestingly, I've raised a point that if we do go for a strong side, and we'll look at the AFC Bournemouth team in a bit, is do we run the risk of getting injuries? Now, Stoke City have they sort of have on average about 12.7 fouls per game. Now, if that was a league table, they'd be in the top half. Do you have any concerns around that?
I mean, yeah, ideally you don't want your best players getting injured before the playoffs. That goes without saying. But on the flip side of that, injuries can happen anytime, can't they? You can't legislate for injuries. I mean, people hurt themselves getting out of bed in the morning. I think he's done the right thing to go strong. I think he needs to get that team firing as we go into the playoffs, because that's the team he's going to be wanting to play from the word go.
Interestingly, in those fouls per game, I think the top team is Birmingham and the next team's Rotherham. Do you know who the third team that could have the most fouls per game would be, just out of interest?
Fouls per game? Don't know. Someone like Watford.
Oh, there you go. Bang on the money, mate. You got it.
Was it?
It is. Yeah.
Just because I always find them niggly.
I thought I'd put that out there. So that is your Stoke City team for today, taking on AFC Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium. So where do we think the first goal is going to come from? We've got Liam watching. How you doing, Liam? Right foot, a set piece, left foot screamer from Brooks. Nice. Billing and one of his unbelievable overhead kicks, hopefully. We've got Cameron. How you doing? Right foot, left foot, header.
It's going for the perfect hat trick.
How are you feeling? Where do you think that first goal is coming from, Steve?
Well, could this be the day that Steve Cook gets his name on the score sheet? You know, we've been saying it all season. He's due a goal. Although I would much prefer it in the sort of dying minutes of a draw in the playoff final. That would be ideal. But no, I fancy it. Yeah, I fancy a Captain Cook goal today from a header from a corner.
Is Adam Smith in the same boat as well?
I think he is, isn't he? He's the only other one that hasn't scored.
I think he is. So Jonathan Woodgate's picked this team, the final team of the league season. He's gone with a strong side. You've probably seen it already, but we're going to take a look at it now. In goal, Asmir Begovic. 3, back in the team, captain Steve Cook. Number 5, Lloyd Kelly makes a return to the team. Number 7, David Brooks. 8, Jeff Lerma. 9, Dominic Solanke. 10, Dan Juma. 15, Adam Smith. 18, Carter Vickers. 22, Pearson. And 29, Billing. On the bench, we've got Mark Travers, Stacey, Rico, Mepham, Wilshire, Raquelme, Anthony, Long and Surridge. So just mention those 2 players back in training this week, Steve. Kelly and Steve Cook. And that team looks like the team that will probably take on the playoffs.
Yeah, most definitely, mate. That's my thinking, and that's the way I would have gone as well. The Kelly and Cook thing, you could have made an argument for them to miss out today just purely on a sort of case of rushing them back. Don't want a reoccurrence of their whatever injury. I don't know what injuries they had, but whatever they were, don't want them flaring up again. But if they're fit enough, they need a bit of game time. I don't see why you wouldn't play them and get that team gelling again as we go into the playoffs.
Some of these players were missing from last week, players that have really contributed this season to get us into the playoffs. Will they be sort of taken to the pitch a bit delicately today? Will they be worried about getting injured?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. There is that sort of mindset that starts to creep in with players. They don't want to miss out on their place in the playoffs and possibly the final. So you could make an argument for the fact that they might be a bit standoffish at points with challenges, etc. But well, let's just hope they're good enough to keep the ball for long periods of time and don't need to go flying into any challenges.
I suppose you don't want some of these players playing 90 minutes, though. No.
I mean, if we're in a position, I mean, even if it's, to be honest, I don't really care too much if it's sort of half an hour left and we're 0-0. I would still take them off and wrap them up. I don't think as long as we. Is there any sort of chance we can drop into 6th? Is it or is it a big swing in goal difference?
I mean, if Barnsley win today, and we don't win, they can jump us, and we'll take a look at the table in just a moment. What I'll do is I'll put those fixtures back on the actual screen. So you've currently got AFC Bournemouth versus Stoke, Barnsley taking on Norwich at home, Watford versus Swansea. Norwich, Watford versus Swansea, and Bristol City versus Brentford. Now, I'm looking at people or teams like Barnsley and Swansea and thinking, are they going to go strong? I mean, I haven't seen their lineups yet.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a difficult one with Barnsley because they equally they could they've done all right against Brentford, I think, this season. So do they want to sit there in sixth, take on Brentford, knowing that they've already done well against them? Who knows? They might wrap all their players up this game rather than they did last game. So I mean, Brentford may do the same thing because they played a strong side last time. So they might, just think, well, it's all job done now. Let's just take everyone off, not cause any injuries, and go with a training team.
I mean, credit to Jonathan Woodgate. I questioned whether he would be brave enough to go for the full strength side, but he's done it. So I'm giving him credit there.
Yeah, I agree. I exactly what I would have done. I know you would have done it the other way around, wouldn't you? You would have rested last game and probably rested this game rather than last game.
Yeah.
But I just see it as a continuity thing again, where you picking your best side, moving into the playoffs, get them up to speed, and see where it takes you, because you can't go any stronger than that. So it's not going to get any better than that.
Let's look at that table again then. So Brentford on 84 points in third, Swansea on 80 points, AFC Bournemouth in fifth on 77, and Barnsley on 77 as well. Now, ideally, would we want to be in fourth when the final whistle goes, so we have the first leg away from home?
Yeah, in an ideal world, we would, yeah. Who knows? It's going to be... I think we've got enough too much for Stoke today. I do fancy Barnsley today. I know they've got Norwich, haven't they? I just think Norwich will be on the beach. So I do fancy them for a win. I don't fancy Swansea winning. Who have Brentford got?
Brentford have got... I just put it on the screen a moment ago, didn't I? It'll come round in a minute. But here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Bristol City.
Yeah, because Swansea are away at Watford. So I think Watford will have a bit too much for them. And then... Brentford, I think that's an easy win for them as well. So I think we might overtake Swansea, which would be ideal.
So you said that Stoke, we probably have too much for them. They're in like 14th. That's sort of where they finish in the last two seasons. I mean, this is their third season in the Championship now after they fell out of the Premier League. It can quite easily happen that if you don't get back, you get stuck in this league.
Well, yeah, we've seen it time and time again. I mean, it's not just stuck in this league, is it? You can then free fall down to League One, League Two. I mean, it's going to be an interesting one if we don't get the desired result out of the playoffs and we don't go back to the Premier League. Who of that team, of that squad, will stick with us and who won't? Quite easily could be 70% of that team gone. I hate to say it, but it could quite easily happen if we don't go up. I don't want to think like that because I want to be positive about it. But the reality is wages will have to be lost, and we've got some big earners there still.
So it's a strong AFC Bournemouth team for you guys out there currently watching. Stoke City winless in 6. What do you think the score will be in this afternoon's game? Place it in the chat now and we'll show it on the screen. So what are you expecting when that whistle goes, Steve? What do you expect to happen throughout the game, changes, and that score prediction you might have?
Yeah, I think it's going to be comfortable today. I think especially with that side he's put out, I mean, it's as strong as it gets. I know we struggled a little bit at their place, but it was a midweek game. It was a cold, wet night. We were missing Danjuma, I think, at that point. It was a typical weekday game at Stoke, but I think today we'll have far too much for them. We'll play it on the deck. I think we'll just pass round them, and I think I picked a 3-1, didn't I, yesterday? Because I thought Steve Fletcher might be playing, and he might cause us a bit of problem in the air. But as he's not playing, I'm going to refine that to a 2-0.
Okay, 2-0. I can't remember what I said last night, but I'm going for a clean sheet for Begovic to add to that stat. And I think it should be quite comfortable today. They're a team not in form, and they're just trying to see the season out. So I'll probably join you with that, Steve. I'll probably go with a 2-0 as well. But how are you feeling in the chat? What do you think the score prediction will be? And interestingly, I think Aaron's dropped a few stuff there saying that Brentford, I think, have rested. Swansea have gone strong. And Pukey not playing for Norwich versus Barnsley. So thank you for that, Aaron, for topping that up for us and letting us know. So, and there is Aaron's score, 3-0 to Boscombe up the Cherries. How you doing, Mark? Going for a 2-1. We'll concede a goal but win the game. Liam, going for a 3-0 as well. Daniel, how you doing? Enjoy the game, 1-0. Cameron, thank you for joining us, 2-0. 3-0 from Chris. And we've also got Simon. How you doing, Simon? Thought 1-1 yesterday, but changed my mind. Gone for 2-1. Seeing all those strong players out there, Steve, he fancies it.
Yeah, why not? I agree with him. It's like I say, it's as strong as we could get. And I just think the form we were in with that side, it's just going to be, I don't see it being much of a contest, really. If anything, it might take a little bit of edge off the game if people are worried about getting injured. There is that slight concern, but I don't think so. I think Jonathan will get to a point in the game where he'll start taking players off, maybe half an hour to go.
We were 5 years out of this championship, but it's not let us down this season, has it? It has been relentless. It has been unpredictable. We have struggled at times. I do love the championship, Steve. As much as I want the Prem for certain reasons for the club, I do love it. No VAR. I know we're not there physically, really, but we've got what we expected out of the championship. It always delivers.
Yeah, and it's I mean, we've said it time and time again, haven't we? It's nice to not get up on a Saturday thinking, Jesus, how many are we going to get pelted by today? It's nice to go into games with, majority of the time with a lot of confidence. It has been turbulent this season. We've had, emotional. We've had the loss of Eddie, loss of Jason, two big figures in the club left. But now we're on a new path. We got, Jonathan seems to be doing a pretty good job so far. I know not a lot of people thought he might do. He wasn't the man, but give him a chance, and he's earning his wage. So long may it continue. And as for going up and down, I think, I'd love to play this sort of football every week and be a lot, in those games. But the money's where it's at, isn't it? And if we want things like the training facilities and all the rest of it, we need that Premier League money.
Definitely. Totally agree. Okay, so we've got a match review after the game, about an hour after the game. If you hit the notification bell, you'll be notified when that comes out. So hopefully that'll be a positive result with a win, back to winning ways. And Steve, you're joining me on that one as well.
No, I've got to go out, mate. Sorry. I'll be there.
Excellent. And we are going to try and plan for the playoffs as well. So if you would like to show your support for the team ahead of the playoffs, between now and, say, next Friday, send a short video clip of 20 seconds maximum by email to info@cherriesredarmy.co.uk and maybe put a little collage together for the lineups live of the first leg. So if you would like to take part in that, just drop me an email and we'll put something together, and we'll be all behind the team supporting them. So cheers, Steve. Enjoy the game. Hopefully it's going to be a win. I'll catch you later.
No problem, buddy. Yep. Enjoy.
Just got another score coming in from AFC Bournemouth, Germany there. 3-1 as well. The famous 3-1. Thank you for everyone who's currently joined us for this Lineups Live. The teams are out. The players are nearly ready, and the 46th game is nearly upon us. So enjoy the game. Check out the review after the game, and hopefully Jonathan Woodgate builds some momentum into the playoffs. See you soon. Up the Cherries.